So, hello everyone, welcome to today's session formally. This is our week three, and in the past 2 weeks, you have mainly done introduction to Python, different data types, list strings, and everything, and also a bit of code optimization. What I mean by that is how to write efficient code and to do certain tasks. So you have had programs on GCD and how to find the greatest common denominator, and then you have had more recently programs on how to sort a given list of items, how to find something within a list, and you have also been introduced to arrays also, which I did hint at, and I did use arrays in the last week tutorial, but this week you are formally introduced to them. So, any doubts regarding the video lectures? Any doubts? If you have a doubt, you can speak up.
Hello, sir.
Yes?
Sir, good evening. My name is Srinidhi.
Yes, Krishnidhi, tell me.
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm falling behind on the schedule. So, whenever I'm trying to execute the codes from week one and two, that is what is there in the assignment,
Okay.
I keep getting errors, sir. Like it's almost unexecutable.
What is the error you are getting? First of all, in where are you writing this code? Are you using idle or Spider?
Sir, I'm using Jupyter Notebook.
Jupyter Notebook. Okay. Okay. So what is the error that you are getting? Are you doing it in the Python environment? Because Jupyter allows you to do different languages. Are you using the Python 3 or whatever Python environment?
Just
So,
1 minute, sir. I'll check up on it.
so on the top right of your screen, there will be a drop down. Which language? So
Yes,
that
sir.
one of the drop down should say Python. So the current usage should be Python, Python 3 or just Python or whatever.
Yes, sir. It does show Python 3.
Okay, okay. Then what is the error that you're getting?
So sometimes I either get indentation error or sometimes the code runs, sir, but I'm not getting the answer as expected.
So two things. So, indentation error is syntax thing. So this you can get better by writing more and more code. Okay, so see the codes
Okay,
that
sir.
I've written, and they're actually in .py files. So you can just copy them and then see how those things work. Okay, and try writing
Yes, sir.
replicating those same code, right? So why I do that, why I give you the code and everything, is for you to at least practice what I do in class, because the moment you write such code, no, you will get familiarized with syntax. So syntax can only be
Yes, sir.
improved by writing more and more code. It's like writing English. The more you see programs and more you practice, the better you get. Okay, and then comes second
Yes,
logic, where this is where you're not getting the answer as expected because something is wrong in the way you're thinking and giving telling the computer what to do. So what is programming? Programming is a way to tell the computer what to do, and if you're not very specific in the way you tell them, the computer will give you all sorts of answers. Okay, so I would say you practice and you watch all the videos that I upload and practice those things. Once you do those and you follow the video lectures, no, actually, so even the video lectures, the programs that are being written and shown to you, everyone, you have to go back and actually write that code. Write it by yourself. Try to understand it first. Oh, was I muted the whole time? Hello?
Now you are audible,
sir,
sir.
you are audible.
Oh, okay. I just got muted automatically. I don't know. So yeah, what you have to do is write all the code that is being described in the video lectures as well as in my tutorials. Right? Go back and write it on the terminal. Okay. Try and understand what is happening step by step.
Definitely, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
If you do that, see, it is, if you're doing it for the first time, it's a learning curve. And if you don't put in effort, the learning curve will get even more steeper, even more difficult. So you have to go and do this by, it's like doing math. Math also takes, you have to go and actually practice. This is the same thing. Practice will get you there. It's not difficult, okay? Let me tell you, what we are doing is not difficult. It just takes some time to get yourself familiarized with it. Once you get familiarized, you will be really good at writing your own code, thinking on your own, and making innovations, how to make the program better and things like that. Okay? So that thing.
Yes, sir.
So go back and practice that. Write every code. Okay?
Thank you, sir, so much.
Okay, so the next question someone posted, efficiency is not clear. Okay, okay, we will do one, maybe we'll do one program on that, okay? Just to show what efficiency is, okay? I'm using Windows 11. Could you explain how to import a notepad file with my code into Python interpreter? Uh, you save your notepad into as a .py file and just run that .py on the terminal, Windows terminal. But I would suggest write everything on something like Jupyter, or because you're starting off, no? Write everything on idle or spider and then execute it from there. Okay, this is for whoever asked me how to import a notepad file into Python. You have to just save it as a .py file. It gets automatically converted into a Python file, and then you can run it on your shell or whatever your command prompt. So you just have to write Python in hoping that you have installed Python in your computer, and then just write Python and then your code file name wherever it's located. You have to give the location of the file also, and then run it. Okay, like I mean, for example, if I open my Windows shell, no, I'll share. I'll just share my screen. But I would suggest you guys not to do that. I mean, just do it. You use the Python interpreter directly, no, the idle. Why use Notepad and things like that? Because these things allow you to edit stuff also. So I'll just open my Windows shell. Okay. So this is how my command prompt looks like. Okay. If I go to Python, I can just type Python, okay? It will go to a Python environment. So now I can do everything in Python. So for example, if I do print, can everyone see my screen? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I'm actually in my Python environment now because I have downloaded all this long back. So see, it's like it's running like Python. You usually you see these three arrow marks. That's like how idle works, no? So idle also, one thing that you have to do idle in idle is how to make it work. I'll show you idle. So how to, I mean, how to write and save your scripts. So I'm just starting idle now. You can do this on Jupyter, Spider, or whatever also. I used to use idle long back. So this is how idle opens, no? So this is actually a terminal sort of thing. So anything that I write gets executed directly. Okay? It's not a good place to write the program. So if I just do this and press enter, it says hello. If I do 1 plus 1, sorry, 1 plus 1, it gives me 2. But you don't want to write it here. So what I do is I write it in a text editor. So I do a new file, control N. Now this is a sort of thing where I can just write and nothing gets executed here. Okay. So if I just write this, hello world, it's just a script. Okay. Like how I write in Spider, nothing gets executed. I have to run this. To run that, I first have to save this, okay? So I save it somewhere. Wait, people are still entering. I just admit them. I don't know how to do this automatically. Okay. Uh, yeah. If people can admit, please admit people, huh? So yeah. So this is my actual this thing. So this is I can save this. It's a script file. First I have to save this. And maybe I'll save it on the desktop on my desktop. Okay, I'll just say test. Please give me some time. My computer is a little slow. Okay, test. So this gets saved as a test.py file on my desktop. Okay, now it's saved. Now I can run this. Once I save this, now I can run it. I just press run or F5. When I see it gets the output comes on my compiler, sorry, on my console, which starts like this. It says Python 3.7.0 shell. This is actually the terminal of Python. Okay, but if I and I can do all my edits here. I can write a lot of things. I can do 1+1 and then print the end, whatever. I can write my functions here. This is called an editor actually. I save this Control S and then I run this. See, all the outputs will come now. Sorry, where is this? I took S and then run. Okay. See, hello world, the end, everything gets. So this is equivalent to on my spider. I write everything here, and when I run it, everything gets run here. No, that is equivalent of spider on idle. Okay, and then people can use Jupyter also anything. I would suggest you guys to use these text editors rather than Notepad because uh, just it's easy to debug stuff right here. All these colors come differently. Even in Notepad, it is Notepad plus plus has it. I don't know just whether Notepad has it, but Notepad plus plus and then indentation happens automatically and all that. In Notepad, it's not that easy. You have to press your tab and all. Okay, so please use these text editors such as Spider or Idle. Okay, to write your programs. Then what is the next question?
Sir, may I ask a question?
Yes, yes, yes.
Actually, sir, I'm an English teacher. I'm working in a government degree college for UG students, but
Okay.
I'm interested in learning Python.
Okay.
So that's why I joined here.
Great.
I'm extremely new to computer programming, and I don't have any previous, experience in coding or in computer science.
Okay.
However, I'm going through the video lectures, and I'm able to understand the concepts very well.
Okay.
And coming to the assignments, I am trying to practice. Sometimes I am breaking down the question into some smaller parts.
Yes.
For
Yes.
each part, I'm trying to write in idle.
Yes.
If at all I'm unable to get it, and how to write that part, in Python, I'm getting help from Chat GPT for
Okay.
each part separately.
Okay.
But I don't know whether it is allowed or not. But finally, I'm able to understand how to write the code, and I'm completing it, sir. But my problem is, if I go for the examination, how can I, that is one of my concerns. So, how can I prepare for, the examination? That is one question. Second, in the third week, it was mentioned the lecture is about big O and n square or O and log n. I'm unable to understand that,
Okay.
but I'm able to write the codes related to that one.
Okay.
If I can't, understand that part, is it okay? That is the one thing. And what is the best way to prepare for the exam? I am trying to solve the questions from Think Python book, whatever is mentioned, and some other sources. I am, practicing some questions every day, but I am not very sure I can clear the exam because at the moment I have to, answer the questions. This is my concern. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Great, sir. Great. Great questions. So let me answer the first thing. It is completely okay at the current stage to use ChatGPT or video. It's see how I learned programming was through a textbook. At that time, there was no ChatGPT and things like that. Okay, but now there is this great, I would say, a great tool. Okay, it's not always correct. In the sense, it might not always give you the correct answer. Okay, most of the time it does not. If you ask a slightly complicated question, it's not very useful. Having said that, what we are doing now is very basic, and you can use ChatGPT and the Think Python book. Think Python book is amazing. Okay, try and do all the examples that you feel you can do concerning the topics covered in class. For example, concerning strings, lists, and all those things, and keep practicing. The more you practice, like I say, answer someone else, These things require practice, and once you practice them, you will be able to write a better code. Okay. Okay. What you are on the right track, I would say, where you are actually going and finding out things, breaking down the problem to, that's how you actually program. You break down the question into smaller parts, and then you answer part by part, and integrate everything. Okay, that's how you actually do a programming. And I think that's a great way that you're doing currently. Just do more of it. There is no other way to do this. You have to just iteratively keep repeating the same steps, do more questions, do the same questions again and again, and things like that. Okay, so that is all I can say regarding how to get better at programming. Okay, you have to just keep doing it again and again. And if you find some errors, just Google it. ChatGPT is a very good tool wherein your query becomes easier to like you can ask your query in a better manner, and that's why the solutions comes more faster and more easily. But just be careful. So you what I would do, what how I learned programming is, first I would write a pseudocode. What is a pseudocode? It's not it it has to do nothing with any language. Okay, you have to write the logic on a piece of paper. Okay, now how am I going to do a, say, multiplication table? How am I going to write 2 into 1 equals 2, 2 into 2 equals 4? How am I going to tell the computer to do that? I will write it on the piece of paper. For example, I write a first for loop. For loop, one, the numbers will go from 1 to 10. 1 is fixed. So maybe I'll do that. Okay. I'll write this in Word, because this is just a pseudocode. And then you have to write this in Python. Okay, so that pseudocode is basically the algorithm that you need to follow. Okay, if you have seen all the programs, the core thing about any program is an algorithm. Okay, what is the algorithm? It is a sequence of steps, of some logical steps, how to go from one step to the other step. Okay, for example, if I need to write, if I want to say print a table of two. So what I need, I need one that is a fixed number, say some constant equals 2. Okay, then I write a for loop. For loop could be anything. Start equals 1, end equals 10, and I increase by 1 every time. 1. Okay, start start value of, say, some variable I, of I equal to 1, end is equal to 10. Okay, then my syntax need not be correct here, because this is what I'm thinking, and I write this explicitly. Okay, then what do I write? Then I just want to print this thing. Okay, I want to print constant. I want to print this constant times into I should give me some product of constant into I, product. Okay, now this is my pseudocode. Okay, now this is universal for any language. Okay, the logic is the same. Now I want to do this in Python. Okay, let's see how I try and write this. This is just to show you how you go from a pseudocode. Okay, so writing that pseudocode is super important. That's how you get your logic from. So in my first line is, I need to have a constant. I'm writing a table of two, so I write a constant. So one variable C is equal to, okay, then I have to write a for loop of some variable I that starts from 10 and increase. So I can write this easily. For I in range 1 to 11. Okay, so it goes from 1 to 10, right? And then print, I have to print 2 into, so C. So what I do is C comma so str of C plus into plus, so I'm doing string concatenation. So all this is just Python specific. Okay, I'm just writing out the table for that now. Str of I, okay, plus okay plus str of c into I. Okay, let's try and run this. I might get an error, so but then we'll refine this. See, so what all this is, this entire part that I wrote is just Python specific. I wrote this because I know that I can convert an integer to a string by writing this. Then I've just put this into part. This is a string thing, and then here I'm doing the calculation of actually the product c into I, and then converting that into string. And I'm using plus because that's in Python you can concatenate. Okay, so this is just a way of writing this in Python. In some other language, for example, C or something, it will be different. What is important is writing the pseudocode. And this is a very easy pseudocode. For example, we did much more complicated things. For example, transposition of a matrix and all those things. I would encourage you to first write the pseudocode for that and then write the program. By doing that, you will know what you're doing is correct or wrong. Okay? Because you would have thought out how the program should work and things like that. Okay, so please write the pseudocode before you actually write the code. Writing the code is not a very difficult thing to do once you have the pseudocode. It's just figuring out the syntax. And syntax you figure out by writing more and more code. Okay, that's about it. Is that clear? So please follow this practice of writing the pseudocode and then writing the actual code on Python. Okay. Wait, I'm just looking through the questions. Uh, when will the recording be released, or tonight or tomorrow? I don't know about how the marking and all will be done. What to do, ma'am? So try and copy the code. Make your indentation and all that correct. You will not get that error. Okay. And if worst case scenario, you can ask me in the next class. For example, someone's asked me here, square of x for I in range 100 if I 7. Well, what is square of x? Is that a function? Who is this person? Rohini M. Okay. Okay, even if I define the function, okay, you have defined the function, that's okay, but what is x? So do you want x to be equal to I? As I understand, you want to write, so basically you want the square of all even numbers from 1 to 100, right? Is that the thing that you want to write? Yeah. So you have to, I don't know, Manohar, or so not Manohar, Rohini M. Can you speak up, please?
Yes.
Rohini M?
Yes. So my name is Manohar.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Rohini M, sorry, Rohini M, can you just describe to me what I'm explaining is correct? As in whether you want squares of even numbers from 1 to 100, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Squares of even number below 100.
Below 100, right? So your x should be first I. You can't, you have two variables, your x is not being defined at all. So square of I for I in range 100. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
You can't write this extra thing of if is even x. Okay, that is not, the second part is
Ma'am,
not
this
correct.
line of code they explained in class. Ma'am. Sorry to interrupt. This line of code they explained in class, ma'am. Sir executed in it.
Okay.
And he got the output. The same thing when I do it in my Python shell, I didn't get it. That's
So
why I asked you.
which slide is this? Which lecture is this?
I think so. Fifth week. Ma'am.
Fifth week. We are in
List
our third week.
comprehension. Sorry,
Okay, but yeah, I mean, I
both.
don't know the code, but the thing is, your x should be I here, first thing. Okay, x and I have to be parity here because what is x? X is not defined only. Square of
Okay.
I for I in range 100 and your if is even x. I think that condition should be in a different place, but that x should be I. Let me try and think.
I'll try. I'll try.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's I think it's not correct. Yeah. First thing your x should be I, and I don't know how to do a conditional within a for loop within this kind of notation. I think there's a way. If is even x, uh, then you have to print for yeah square of x for I in range. Yeah, because yeah. So maybe I'll get back to this next week. Okay, but how to write this? I think I know this, but we have other things to do in this class, so we'll go there.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, it's not very difficult, but
Hello, good evening, ma'am.
yeah, someone's written this I into 2, but she's also put that if condition of it should be even. Okay, so I need to check how that was done. Okay, what all was covered? No, we haven't actually started the class. We have just been discussing on how to write efficient code and how to basically get practicing. Oh, someone's written this VJ. Yeah, if does this work? Let's try. I don't know if no. I usually break it into two things uh, because it's easier to understand. Let's try it on Spider. Okay. Uh, yeah. Oh, it is actually yeah. So if can come at the end. Yeah. Okay. So this is how you actually write it. I knew only till here, but yeah, you can also write add an if here. Okay.
Mom, I tried in this way and I got the output, ma'am. The thing is that they taught different method, ma'am. It's a list comprehension in fourth week.
Okay.
That's why I asked you.
Maybe I'll check. Maybe when you're doing it next week, I'll get to it. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Someone said complexity. Let's do complexity. So, what is complexity? It basically tells you how, given an input of size n. So, input of size n could be n elements in a list and things like that. Uh, give me one moment. Uh, yeah. So, admit people. Can I admit people? Yeah. uh, Complexity tells you uh, how in the worst case scenario, for example, if you have an input of size n, how many steps the computer has to go through to give you an output. Okay, for example, if you want to find the, well, let's do a very simple program. Okay, yeah, I want to find the maximum in a given list of elements. Okay, for let's find maxima. You have to tell me what is the complexity for given say L is a list of random numbers. Okay, 1 2, I'm just writing this. Okay, for so max is equal to uh, 0 first for I in L if I greater than max, okay, max is equal to I, okay, and then print I. So this is my program to find the maximum number in a list, okay. So it's 7, it's giving me 7, okay. Let's write more numbers, okay, and I'm running this. Oh, if I is for I in L, if I is greater than max, max is equal to I. Why is it printing 5? Because 7 is greater than 5. But what is the output that it's giving? 5. Shouldn't be true because 7 is greater than 5. Just give me one moment. Oh, no. I have to print max, not I. Sorry. My mistake. Yeah. Okay, it's giving me 7. Now, to do this, so how many times am I doing this comparison? I'm doing this n number of times. Given n number of, it goes through the entire list. And I'm doing this comparison of this temporary variable max with whatever I value is, whatever that element in the list is. So given an input of size n, how many steps does the program have to go through to give me an answer in the worst case scenario? That means here the worst case is it has to go through the entire list to give me the answer. So that's my best and worst case also. Because to find the maximum, it has to go through an entire list. So the complexity of this is n, okay? Because where n is the size of the input. Now for some things, you can, so you went through this table. Now there are different complexities like n square, log n, 2 power n square, n cube, and things like that. Sometimes it's a constant. When is the constant? So what is the complexity of this statement? Hello world. Okay, this also has a complexity. It takes some time to run. This is a complexity of order of 1. So it's written like this. I'll just write this here. It's written like this, big O and 1. That means it takes constant time to execute. No matter what the input is, it will take this constant time to execute, and that's just this. Okay. Whereas here it scales by the input size. If I have 10,000 numbers, the complexity of this is order of n, so order of 1,000. Okay, things like that. And you can see the more complex the program is, the more time it will take to execute. For example, if I just if I just write time off, okay, and I do this entire thing. Sorry, not time is not defined. I have to write a program for this. I have to include this entire thing in a program and calculate time of that. We'll do that somewhere, okay? But the more complex a program is, the more time it takes to execute. And this complexity is where what we are very interested in when we write efficient code. So you can write codes wherein the same thing can be achieved by different complexity. For example, you can have n square, n or log n for the same kind of process that you're writing, but if you write it in a bad manner, your complexity will increase. Okay, that's why you worry about complexity. For very large input sizes, it becomes hard to write big code. It becomes very hard for the program to compute uh, processes which have high complexity. Okay, if the input size is large. For example, if my input of list is say 1,000, okay, if the complexity is 2 power n, what is 2 power 1,000? It is quite a bit. Okay, what is 2 power 1,000? 2 power 100 only is this bigger number. You see how fast it increases. It has to do that many steps. Okay, and usually in Python you do around 10 to the power steps in 1 second. This is way more than 10 to the power 7. It's almost 10 to the power 14 or more than that, 10 to the power 20. Okay, so even with just an input size of 100, you will take a long time, like 2-3 seconds to execute. And if you have even bigger sizes, then it becomes a really difficult thing. So that's why that is known as big O notation. So given an input of size n, what is your complexity? This could have different things. For example, you could have order of n, order of log n, or order of just one constant like I wrote. This will take constant, this takes a constant time to execute. So if I just do time of print hello world, it is like very simple. So it takes 997 microseconds. If I execute it again, it will take me about the same number of time. Okay. If I write a slightly bigger thing, it will still take the same amount of time. I'm just writing a bigger, I'm just extending that string. Okay. So this is a bigger string. So it's taking me that much time. See, not a lot of time. Okay. I'm just executing this. Also my computer is, so wall time is actually 0, so it's basically almost instantly executing this no matter what. Okay, see, wall time 0 nanoseconds, 0 nanoseconds, even if I increase the input, because that is known as constant complexity. It's denoted by this order of 1. It could be anything, order of 100 or anything. It's just a constant size. Okay, so is that clear what complexity means? Go back and look at the video, I would suggest. But that is what you mean by complexity. How many steps does the computer have to go through to give you an output in the worst case scenario? Okay. Any questions based on that? Yeah. Any questions? Anyone?
Sir, can you mention any resource, whether online or book form, for practicing Python programs from easier level to the difficult level? So the
Think Python is
graded
a
one
good thing.
or
Think Python is a good thing. There's one more book. I'll put the link tonight. Okay. I'll put a link.
thank you.
Yeah. The book. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Can we then do other things in this class? So in week 3, I'll just give you a recap. These are all the data types that are there in Python. There are more. I think these are enough. Okay, there are more like arrays and things like that. We'll use them whenever we encounter them. Okay, but these are usually the kind of data types, and actually more than you use mostly string, numeric types, and sequence types. Other than that, nothing much is useful. Yeah, Boolean is also a useful thing. Sets and all is not that useful usually. Okay, and these are all the arithmetic operators. We have done this plus, minus, into, this exponential. We'll be using exponential today, and this is floor division. It gives you the minimum integer, okay, of the quotient, integer value of the quotient. Closest into least integer value of the quotient, like ceiling, no, not ceiling, floor of the integer, floor of the real numbers. Then you have comparison operators where equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. These are all conditional stuff. Then this is, so one thing that was done in this class is writing recursive functions. That's the main focus of today. Writing recursive functions. What is a recursive function? This is a recursive function. So you're calling a function that is called recurse within the function itself. Okay. When you call a function within the function itself, it's called recursive. Okay. Doing the same thing again and again within the function. Okay. So you're calling, so it's calling the function within that recurse. Okay. It's just doing that. You can do that many number of times. So that is what we mean by recursive function. We'll do some examples. Okay. We'll do a factorial, Fibonacci, and multiplication. Okay. Let's go to our spider. So this is, so what is a factorial of a number? Factorial of a number is nothing but this. If I say factorial 5, it is this 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. If I do this, it gives me 80. Oh, sorry, it should be 120. This is 3. Okay, that is factorial of a number. if given a number n, the factorial of that is 1 into 2 into 3 up to the nth number. Okay. So this is what I'm doing here. So we'll write a program without the recursive function. Okay. Just to give you an idea what it is. We have already done this. So suppose n equals 10 for, so I'll define this I equals 1 or k equals 1. This so that I'm comfortable. Okay, for I in range, okay, 1 to n plus 1. Okay, why n plus 1? We have to go till the nth value. Okay, we have to go till 10. Okay, we need 10 factorial, and then k is equal to k into I. Okay, and then print k. So everyone understood this code? What is happening? So I take initially my k value of k is 1, and then I go through this loop where I go from 1 to 11, 1 to 11. Okay. So I end at 10 because this n plus 1 is actually 11. I need factorial of 10. I'll write that here. Factorial of 10. Okay, that's the program. And then I do k first time k equals. So I'll print k also here inside the loop and outside the loop to show how k works. I'll comment this out. Okay, I've printed k inside. So just let's run this. So you see what is happening. So initially k is 1. Okay, 1 into 1 is 1. So it's here. Then I is 2 here. So 1 into 2 is 2. Then I is 3 here. But k is 2. So 2 into 3 is 6. Okay. K keeps storing its value. Now k value is 6. The next value of I is 4. Okay. So k 6 into 4 is 24. Okay, and go on till my I reaches 10. Okay, so that keeps getting multiplied. So when I print inside the loop, all these numbers are getting multiplied, like shown. Okay, values of k when I go from 1 to 10 of the I value. I don't want that. I just want the final value, so I print the value of k outside the loop. So this is where indentation matters. See where my print is. It's along the indentation of this for loop. So it's basically outside the for loop. Okay, and I do this and I just do this, it's just giving the final value. Let's print that of 5, factorial of 5. So it should give me 120, no? Yeah, so it's giving me 120, just the final value. So that this is how indentation is important. You can print within the loop, outside the loop. I usually print stuff inside the loop to figure out where I'm going wrong. So if you think your program is not giving you a correct answer, try and print stuff within the loop to see how the program is flowing. Okay, because for loop and all are used to iterate stuff, and print statements within that tell you how that iteration is happening. Okay? Now, let's write a recursive function for that. Okay, so this is my program. So I write factorial of n. In a recursive function, when you're going through a series, it's very important to define what the initial value is and what the process is. Okay, in a factorial, what are you doing? You're multiplying each number with the next number, each natural number with the next natural number, no? That's what I'm doing here. This is the process in a thing, like basically how, what you have to do. So for example, if I have 10, so let's go through this thing, okay? If my n is 1, okay, then I just return 1, okay? If it's not 1, and if it's greater, so here I'm assuming, so here I just do n is a positive integer, okay, always I'm assuming that, okay, assume, otherwise I have to write more conditions, but assuming n is a positive integer, that means it's 1 or greater than 1, okay, or I can write n is a whole number. Okay, whole number is anything that starts from, no, but whole number is 0 also. So n is a natural number. Let's write that n is a natural number. Okay, okay, so then it starts from 1 2 3 4. Now if n is equal to 1, you return 1, else you do this, return n into factorial of n minus 1. Okay. Now suppose my factorial is, say, not 5, it's 3. Okay, let's run this entire thing. What is factorial of 3? 6, no? Now let's not worry about the answer. Okay. Oh, sorry. This has to come outside. Oh, something's missing, something's wrong. Oh, my indentation is wrong. See, one space, because of one space, my indentation is wrong. But you see, in this, no, you get an error. You can see this unindent, some error pops up. I can see it in my script only before running the code. Okay, so that's why text editors are good. So 6. Now, how is this working? Okay, let's try and break this down. Okay, now my input is 3. Now it's first checks what is, if is n equal to 3? No, right? N is equal to 3. It's not equal to 1, so this statement gets executed. Okay, what is this statement? Return 3 into factorial of 2. Okay, so what is happening here is it does this. Okay, 3 into factorial of 2. Okay, this is what is happening. And so it's calling this thing again. So we have to go back up here. Factorial of 2. What is factorial of 2? You come down again. If n equal to, is n equal to 1? No. So this thing gets executed here. Now n is 2 here, remember, because now it's we are calculating factorial of 2. Return 2 into factorial of 1. So this becomes 2 into factorial of 1. Okay, now it goes back again. What is factorial of 1? It goes here. If n equals 1, so n is actually 1 now because we are doing factorial of 1. So return 1. So that returns this value of 1. So did you understand how this gets executed? So it's 3 into 2 into 1, which is factorial of that number only, no? Did you understand how this program is working? And the important step is to figure out when the program should end. Okay, this is when the program should end, when the n equals 1. Otherwise, it should do this execution, that is n into the next number, the next decreasing number. Okay, so n into factorial of n minus 1 is going, once it hits 1, it just returns 1. So this is what happens, 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, which is 6, which is basically what this program is doing. Any doubts on that? Did everyone understand this thing? If you understand this thing, you will be able to write any recursive function.
How to apply this factorial in real world?
Real?
Actual problem that is in real other fields.
That depends highly. So you should know, for a very recursive function, first you should know what is the basic calculation that you're trying to do. Okay, the basic calculation here is this. I'm trying to multiply a number with the next decreasing number. Okay, and then you should also know when it should end. Okay, if you know,
Yeah, that I know.
Yeah,
yeah, that is I know.
yeah.
But
So if you know that,
how to apply the same thing recursive in any other practical one, any other field?
for example, okay, let
What
me
are
give
the
you an
fields that
example.
recursive will be applied?
Okay, for where recursive functions are applied. For example, see, for loop also is doing some function recursively. It's doing the same thing again and again. Okay, wherever you have for loops, not always, but more usually the case is that you can do this recursive function. Okay, because for loop also, if you see, I've written the same thing here in a for loop manner. I'm doing the same thing, but I'm doing this multiplication in a recursive manner here. Okay, that's the only.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in multiplication, you have made m plus multiplied
No, that's a
function.
different program. I am just concentrated on this, getting the factorial of a number. I wrote this program in one manner, in a for loop fashion.
Yeah.
I'm written that now in a recursive fashion.
Yeah, because yeah,
So
that
where
I
for
understood.
loops are in a very general sense, where for loops are there when you do something recursively, when you do something repeatedly, you can use a recursive function. But you should be careful that this thing should have a finite end value. Okay, like
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
ending when I'm hitting one. It's just returning me
Yeah.
this one. Okay, I should know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are other cases also where you do a recursive function, but this is more usually the case. Okay, let's do another example.
Yeah.
Okay, let's. So I want to write. So I want to figure out the product of two numbers m and n. Okay, how simply you can do that? I'll write 5 into 10 equals 10. Okay,
Yeah.
but say I'm a small kid, I don't know. Okay, I want to do 5 into 2, 5 into 1 plus, no, 5 into 10. I want to just add in a very, I want to add 5. I can do this also, no? 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, 10 times.
Yeah.
This I'm doing only 5 times, but I can do this is 6 times. Okay, but I want to do that repeatedly. I can do this in a for loop fashion, or I can do this. Okay, wherein
Recursive fashion.
recursive fashion. If n equals 1, wait, I think more people are joining. I'll try and admit them. Admit all. So, yeah, more people are joining. I'll try and figure this out next time how to just add people automatically. Just a little, because it just stops my flow. Okay. Uh, yeah. Okay. So I have two numbers, say m and n. I want to multiply them. So what I do is if n equals 1, then I just write m, because m into any number 1 is the number itself, and you have to do addition only, no addition basically. But if not, then I want to do addition multiple times. So what I do is m plus multiply of m comma n minus 1. Okay, let's see how that works. For example, let's choose small values. Let's choose 4 and 3. 4 into 3 is 12, no? So I come here, 4 and 3, multiply 4 and 3, n is not equal to 1, so I execute this, wherein it's 4 plus multiply of 4 of multiply of 4 comma 2. Now it go up. Is n equal to 1? No, it's actually 2 here again. So I do this again. So I'll write the steps here. 4 plus multiply, I write multiply like this, m of 4 comma 2. Okay. Now 4 comma 2, what output does it give? It, if I come down, it says this does not get executed. This gets executed. M plus multiply. So this gets broken down further into 4 plus m of 4 comma 1, right? Now what is m of 4 comma 1? N equals 1, so just return m. So m of 4 comma 1 becomes just 4. Okay, so 4 plus 4 plus 4, 12. That's how this program is working. Okay, did you get that?
Yeah.
Everyone,
Sir,
did everyone get this? Yes?
Sir, in this case, if m is 1 and n is something 4,
Yeah.
so here we are giving only if n is equal to 1, written m.
Yes.
For example, the case is different. For example, m is 1 and n is 4. In that case, unnecessary multiplication will be taken place. So in the if is n double equal to 1, in the same place, can we add m double equal to 1 also, ma'am?
If n double equal to 1, return. What do you want? Okay.
For example, m value is 1 and n value is 4. So then we are just,
M is 1 and n is 4.
considering
Okay.
n is,
So 1 and this is 4. Yeah. And then just write 4.
yeah, the first condition, yeah, if n double
Instead of
equal to 1,
that,
return
you
n
want
is,
to write another condition and m equal to 1 or.
R, yes, ma'am. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
R
It
condition.
will still work. No, but then you have to return n. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
it becomes a slightly complicated thing in the sense you have to go sequentially. If I'm checking this
Sequentially, ma'am.
and that, then it
Yes,
becomes
ma'am.
problematic. Then you have to do more if conditions. Okay, this is more simpler. Okay, you have to write more if conditions then it increases the complexity basically. Again, this itself is complex because what is the complexity of this? Can anyone tell me? It's order of n, no, because it's not order of m, it's order of n, because we have to do this thing as long as n comes back to 1, right? This comparison. So this order of n, not order of m. So it depends on the input size of n actually. Okay,
Ma'am. Sir.
yeah, tell me.
Sir, your mic is muted.
Oh, it's muted again. I don't know how this is happening automatically. Please, if someone's doing it, please don't do it. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, if n is double equal to 1, in the case, we are there is no need to run the code, remaining code. In the same way, if m is equal to
If m is equal to 1 and n is equal to 4, you still have to add 1 4 times, no? You have to still do this. 1 into 4 is this.
mic is muted again and again. So then at the same place, if we give another condition, if m double equal to 1, return n condition, if we put there, then there is no need to run the remaining part, right?
Yeah,
So that's why we
but you
can
don't know, no?
save the time.
You don't know what
That's
your
my
MNN will
question.
be. You don't have any prior information what your MNN will be. If I put this, no, I'll tell you what happens. If m equals 1, then return n.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes. I got your question. So this is what you're asking, no? We'll just run
And we
through it.
couldn't hear your voice.
Oh, my mic is getting muted for some reason. Please let me know. It's getting muted again and again. If someone's doing that, please don't do it. I think you have the option to do that. I am not very well versed at MS Teams, and I don't want to put these controls also. Let's be a free class. Don't mute my mic. Yeah. So the question was, what if m equals 1? Then I don't want to do all this. I can put m equals 1 and return n. Okay. See what this does. What do you think this will do? Okay, and maybe I won't put 1 equals 4. 4 and 4 and 4. Do you think it will give me the answer? It will give me an error. Okay. Actually, it will take infinite time to execute and my computer will stop. Why? Because, okay, this step will always keep getting executed because n is decreasing, but I'm not doing any condition for n. Okay, see what I decrease here in a for loop also. What I'm iterating, I need to put a starting and end thing. So it goes from 1 to n plus 1. Here also, I'm going recursive. I'm taking the maximum number and doing -1 -1. Every time this will get executed when my output, when my m is not equal to 1 and n is anything but 1. Okay, you see the problem. This step will always keep getting executed. So how this will run is basically, see, it's my computer is still running. Okay, so wait, yeah. So I'll tell you, sir, what happens when this thing uh, it gets executed. Okay, so the question was, if I change m and n, what will happen? So I've changed m and n, okay, and I've given this input 4 and 4, okay. So initially it comes here directly because n is not equal to 1. It says 4 plus multiply of 4 comma 3. Okay, and then again this gets executed. M plus this M of 4 comma 3 becomes again 4 plus M of 4 comma 2. This keeps happening. Okay, and then this gets substituted by M of 4 plus M of 4 comma 1. Okay, then what happens? 4 comma 1 should have ended, no, but this will not happen because we are not putting condition for n, we are putting condition for m. Okay, whereas we are changing the value of n, so this will not stop. M of 4 comma 1 will become m of, this will become 4 of 4 plus m of 4 comma 0, and that will again change to, again it will change, if this thing again will get, because m is never equal to 1, so this will become 4 plus m of 4 comma minus 1 now. Okay, and this keeps happening infinite, so that's why my computer is taking a long time, it will not stop. Okay, so sir, did you get the answer to your question? You cannot put this m equal to 1 because your computer will not stop running
Sir,
the code.
Sir, here I used elif function. I just tried in after n double equal to 1, return m, and elif m double equal to 1, return n, then else part. I have used it. So
Yes.
then, then it works better.
Yes, it works. Then that's okay.
Elif function.
Yeah, you're just putting another else condition. Okay, here. Okay, elif condition.
Elif.
Okay, it's just not more efficient. It's not a very efficient because you're doing one more if condition. This itself will work.
Yeah, then as we are using elif condition here, so if m is equal to 1, then there is no need to run else part.
Yes.
So there is no need of multiplication again, right?
Yes. But what if your m is not equal to 1? Okay, then this thing will always get executed and it will just add to complexity. Elif m equal. It's a very special case, your program. Okay, then return. Okay, it's a very special case. Okay, if what if m is not equal to 1, then no, every time it will check this also, is m equal to 1, where it becomes unnecessary. Okay, it will add to your complexity. For example, if my m is 4 and 4, it will always keep checking if m is equal to 4. Okay, so this will also give me the correct answer. Okay, it will give me 16. Okay, but what it does is every time it will check this additional step, else if, and that will it will check that 4 times. You don't need that. It's an extra if condition. If only if m is equal to 1, only in this special case, this runs faster. So complexity is always in the worst case scenario you have to check. Okay, what is the worst case scenario? This is then this will be of the order m plus n actually. Okay, so it will start depending on the size of m also. So it's not very helpful. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Did you understand the problem?
Yes, I understood. For very limited.
Scenario where I know what my m is. What's the worst case
Yes.
scenario? Order of m plus n,
Yeah.
not this order of n.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can understand.
Okay. Next is you know how. Next, let's do a Fibonacci series. Does everyone know what a Fibonacci series is? So Fibonacci it's just
Yes,
a special thing, and it's actually, so basically in a Fibonacci series, every number except the first two numbers are different in a Fibonacci series, and every number after the first two numbers is the sum of the previous two numbers. So what's the next number in the sequence? Anyone? It's the sum of the previous two numbers. So 1. What's the next number?
2 and then 3.
And then 3. Then what is the number?
5.
5.
5,
What's
8,
the next number? 8. What's the next number?
13.
13.
13. So it goes on. What's the next number? 21. Okay. So it goes on. So only the first two numbers are defined, and every other number is just the product of the sum of the last two numbers. Okay. Now I'm doing that here. So suppose I give, so I want a Fibonacci. Say I want the number at the, say if my n is equal to 10, I want the number at the 10th position. So 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the number at the 10th position is 21 plus 13 is what's number? 20, 30, 30, 34. Okay, I want only this number to be computed. Okay, using a recursive function. How I do that is, again, very easy. Okay, I write if n is equal to 0, return 0. If n is equal to 1, return 1. Okay, that's where my program should end if I get 0 or 1, because you can't go beyond this. Otherwise, I want the sum of my previous two numbers, that is fib of n minus 1 plus fib of n minus 2. Okay, let's see how that works. Okay, let's see how that works. Suppose so I run this entire thing. Okay, let's do it for a small number. Now I want fib of, I want basically the number at the 4th position. Yeah. What's the 4th position? It is 5. Okay. What is 4th position? 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. This is 2. This is 3. This is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fib of 4. Okay. So fib of 4 is 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Because I've defined my 0 also. Okay. So in my 4th position, say I want 5th position. 4th is equal to the 5th position if I don't include the 0, that is. Okay. Usually that's the notation for Fibonacci. This is called the 0th position. Okay. And this is the first position, second, third, and fourth. So 4th position is 3, and I'm getting 3 as the answer. So how is this getting computed? Okay. Let's do this. Initially, number is 4, so it's not equal to 0 or 1. So I do a return of fib of. So this fib of, sorry, I'll write fib as f. Okay. F of 3 plus f of 2. Okay, that's what is happening. Now, what is f of 3 in the next iteration? F of 3 is nothing but f of 2 plus f of 1, so it comes here. So fib of 3 is nothing but return fib of 3 minus 1 is 2, and plus fib of 3 minus 2 is 1. Okay, so f of 3 is nothing but f of 2 plus f of 1. Okay, that's f of 3. Now what is f of 2? F of 2 becomes, as in n is not 0 or 1, so it becomes fib of 2 minus 1 is 1. So fib of 1 plus 2 minus 2 is 0. So fib of 2 becomes f of 1 plus f of 0. Yeah, please follow me. Is this clear until now? Is it clear? Can someone tell me yes or no? Yeah. Yes or no? Am I audible?
Yes.
So are you seeing how this fib is getting split? Okay. Now what is fib of 2? Can someone tell me what fib of 2 will become? In the next, now I want to compute all of this. What is fib of 2?
3, ma'am. Value 3.
No. What is fib of 2? Just tell me, how do I split this fib of 2? It becomes fib of
1 plus 2. 1.
fib of 1 plus fib of 0, no? 2 minus 1 plus 2 minus 2, 0. So fib of 1 becomes fib of 1 plus f of 0. Yeah? Yeah? Is this correct? Is everybody on page with me? How fib of 2 become fib of 1 plus fib of 0 here? So fib of 2, because I'm calling it inside, n equals 0, it's not equal to 0 or 1, so this thing gets executed. So 2 minus fib of 2 minus 1 plus fib of 2 minus 2. That is fib of 1 plus fib of 0. Okay? Is that clear? Yes or no?
Yes, yes, yes.
So then everything is now in my basic form. It's either 1 or 0, and I've put that two conditions here. Okay? If n is equal to, if 1, then it is return 1. Otherwise, if n is equal to 0, return 0. So what does f of 1 become? 1, no? Yeah? What is f of 0? 0. Because if n equal to 0, return 0. Okay? What is f of 1? What is f of 1 or fib of 1? F is just stands for fib. What is fib of 1? What is it?
Zero.
F of 1,
No, it's
1.
not 0. Fib of 1 is 1. No, see, if an input of is given as 1, if n is equal to 1, if the input is 1, then return 1. So f of fib of 1 is 1. Again, we have a fib of 1. Okay, what is fib of 1? 1, no? And what is fib of 0? 0. Yeah? So what is 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 1? 3. That's the answer we are getting. So did you see how it is computing the recursive function? Do you want me to do it again?
Yeah, again, ma'am. Again, sir.
Okay, let's do it again.
Ma'am, F stands for number of means how many numbers of Fibonacci series we want or what?
Yeah. No, we want the value of the Fibonacci at that number. So for example, fib of 4, we want the value at the 4th position. And the position
Then
in
ma'am, fib of 1 will be 0, no?
so 4th position, if we start from 0, that is 4th position is this.
Yes, ma'am.
So we just want this 3. Okay? Did you get it? So
Ma'am, Fibonacci series will start from 0, 1.
yeah. And the position of the 0 thing is 0. Okay?
Index
ma'am.
value.
Then
Index
fib of
is
1
0.
will be 0.
Huh? Fib of 1 will not be 0. Fib of 1, see, if fib is 1, then the function returns a value 1. Did you get that? Because n equals 1. And that's the thing. First position my index is 1. You forget this series for now. See what the program is doing. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's do fib of 4 again. Okay? Let's do it sequentially. Now follow me, okay? And stop me just stop me right away when you don't understand anything. Okay? F of 4. We ask here. Now n is equal to 4 here, okay? F stands for fib. I'm just doing that, okay? Now f of 4, these two statements don't get executed because n is not equal to 0 or 1. This statements get executed. So fib of 4 becomes fib of n minus 1, that is fib of 3 plus fib of 2. Okay? Did everyone understand this? Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Now let's concentrate on just this part. Okay? Let's leave fib of 2. Okay? Now fib of 3 is n equal to 0 or 1? No, it's equal to 3, no? So then this statement get executed. F of 3 becomes f of 3 minus 1 plus 3 minus 2. So this fib of 3 becomes, what does it become? Sorry. What does f of 3 become?
Fib of
What does it become? Tell me. What is f of 3? How can I
fib
write
of
this? Yeah. Fib of?
fib of 1.
Fib of?
Fib of 2 plus fib of 1.
Yes. Okay. Now let's reduce this more. Okay. What is f of 2?
F of 1.
Fib of 1 plus fib of 0.
Yes. Okay. Please do step by step. F of 1 plus f of 0. Okay, let's reduce this also. This also becomes f of 1 plus f of 0, correct? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we have everything in terms of ones and zeros, and that we have conditions for. Okay. Now what is f of 1? What is f
1,
of 1?
1,
What is f of 0?
0,
0,
Because n is equal to 0, return 0. So 0. What is f of 1 again?
1,
1. What is f of 1 again?
1,
What is f of 0?
0,
What 1
0,
plus, what's the value of this entire thing? 3.
3.
3.
What is f?
Okay.
Same thing. What is fib of 4? We just did that.
Yes, yes.
I just showed you how it
Understood, ma'am.
works. Okay. So
Yes,
that's the
yes, sir.
thing.
Thank you.
That's recursively doing fib. Okay. Now let's put this. Okay. Now what I do is I do for I in range 10 fib of I. Okay. I'm doing a recursive function within a for loop just to print values when I equals 1, I equals 2, I equals 3, fib of that. Okay. See what it is. It is doing this recursively only. This is a recursive function because we are calling fib with an fib, and input is I, where I goes from 1 to 10. So not 1 to 10, 0 to 10. So when I is 0, fib of 0 is 0, fib of 1 is 1, fib of 1 is 1, fib of 2 is also 1, fib of 3 is 2, fib of 4 is 3, fib of 5 is 5, like that. Yeah. So this is our sequence. Where, yeah, did you get this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. This is nothing. This is just a for loop I've written for changing the value of the input of fib. Okay, and every time whatever value I give, this fib itself is a recursive function. Okay, because we are calling fib within fib. So that's called recursive. Okay, so that's to do with recursive function. Now let's do a very general program. Okay, this is nothing to do with recursive at all. Just this program, just to do some examples and practice these examples. Okay. So the question is write a function expanding L. This is the function name that takes as input a list of integers, okay, L, and returns true if the absolute difference between each adjacent pair of elements strictly increases. Okay, so basically, if the absolute difference between any two adjacent pairs is increasing as we go through the list, then you should return true. Okay, did you get it? Get the question? So for example, in this
Yes, ma'am.
question, 3 minus 1 is 2. Now 7 minus 3 is 4. 4 is greater than 2. Okay. So if I do this, let's do this. What is the list? L is equal to, let's do it in array form. Just np dot array of this list. What is the list? What are the numbers? I'll just admit people. They are actually very late. Okay. What are the numbers? 13729. 13729. Let's 13729. Okay. Oh, I have to first import numpy. So this is how you import numpy as np, and then I'll run the program now. Oh, np dot. This is how you write. Host. Okay, I'm a little sleepy. So diff of np dot diff of what is it? L. Yeah, and absolute values. I don't know. Can I do np dot abs? Is there a function like that? I don't. Let's try. Abs of. I'm just writing this entire thing. Np dot diff So if you see now, I've just like first I've calculated differences and converted those differences into absolute values. So I've just converted first. I've taken pairwise differences of adjacent elements in a list. So 3 minus 1 is 2, 7 minus 3 is 4, 2 minus 7 is minus 5, and 9 minus 2 is 7. Okay, and I've taken the absolute value of that. So first the difference and then the absolute value, and you see this differences is always increasing. 2, 4, 7 is the greatest, next is 5, 4, 2. It's in that ascending order. So if the list is like this, then you have to return true. Okay, so basically if given a list of numbers, if the pairwise differences of adjacent elements, if they're strictly increasing, if the absolute value of the differences is strictly increasing, then you have to say true. Okay, so let's write a function for that. This is very irritating. You're joining 1.5 hours late. Okay, you guys are late, people who are just joining. So yeah, so this is the function. So I define a function expanding. I define a variable a whose value is true. Now diff basically stores the difference between two adjacent elements. How am I calculating that? We have done this in the previous class also. For I in range 0 to length of L minus 1, because we want to calculate pairwise differences, and if I'm at the last element, there is no element beyond that. I cannot calculate a difference of that. Okay, so this is important. My range goes from length of L 0 to length of L minus 1, so it goes to the last but one element of that list. Now I calculate this thing called current difference. This is a variable which is equal to L of I plus 1 minus L of I. So I'm doing that pairwise difference. Okay, and I'm doing the absolute of that. Okay, this I didn't do initially. So I calculate the absolute value of the difference. Okay, did everyone get it till here? What I'm doing? I'm calculating difference of two adjacent elements. L of, so initially L is 0 and L is I is 0. So I do L of I plus 1, given L is my list. Okay, L is the list of input. So L of I plus 1 is L of 1, right? Because I is 0 in it. L of 1 minus L of 0 is 2. Okay. Now, if that current difference is greater than diff, initially my value of diff is 0. If my current difference, no, 3 minus 1 is 2, okay? 2 is greater than 0, 2 is greater than diff is 0, I say A equals true, okay? Else, and my diff, the value diff, okay, becomes my current difference, okay? It becomes this current value 2, okay? Else A equals false, and I break. You have done this thing also, no? Break brings you out of the loop, okay? Everyone knows what break does. For example, I'll show
Yes, sir.
you. For I equal to, for I in range 1 to 10, okay? If print, if I equal to 5, then break, okay? Else print I. What will the output of this be? This thing. Let's run it.
It will print from 1 to n except 5.
Yeah. Except 5, no, it will stop at 5. It will
Yeah,
just
ma'am.
come out of the
Sorry.
loop.
It will print from 1 to 4.
Yeah, 1 to 4 and will stop, because once you hit the brake, it's like a brake, car brake. You just come out of that loop. Okay, that this thing will not get executed and it will just come out. What you said, no, that will happen if this is not break but continue. Except 5, everything will get printed. Okay, see what happens. Okay, instead of break, I just press continue. Except 5, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not getting printed, 6, 7, 8, 9 till the end. So continue, except that everything else will get printed. So that's the difference between break and continue. It's very important to know this. All please note this. Okay. Continue will just keep
Ma'am,
catch
what if it,
condition and print everything till the end. Whereas break will just not only not print that, not print that condition value, but it will just come out of the loop. Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, what if we have exit statement then?
X equal to,
Exit statement. Instead of break and continue, if we have exit, then
I've not done that actually. I don't know. I've never used that actually. Exit. It's not even a keyword. I don't know what exit is. I don't think it's defined. Okay, what does exit do? I don't know. It's
ma'am, similar to in loop, no, it will get exit.
okay. I have not used that. So many things I don't use until they're actually useful. So exit off. Okay, maybe let's try that. Yeah, maybe it just breaks. Let's try that. So exit off. Huh? Let's see what it does. Oh, something. Oh, it's exited from the terminal only. It exits Python. So if I exit off, just exits Python. So please don't use that. Here it's okay because you're already in the
And see,
terminal shell. I don't know what else exit does. Because here, if in my terminal, no, now I'm in Python, okay? I'm in Python environment. If I do this, no, it exits Python. So now if I try to 1 plus or whatever print hello world, it will give me an error because I'm not anymore in Python. If I use Python, it will tell me what is it. It will ask me error, unable to initialize. Yeah. I don't know what exit is.
yeah, got it, ma'am.
In shell language, it's just to exit from Python. If I'm using shell, like some terminal. Okay. So then what happens is, so this is, do you understand this? What is happening? Now, if my difference what was my list initially? 1, 2, 4, 7, 10, no? No, what was it? Or maybe, what is this?
2, 4, 7, 10.
Huh? What was my input?
2, 4, 7.
13729. 1372. That's my original list. So L equals 13729. Okay. So it evaluates L of I plus 1 when I is equal to 0. L of I plus 1 minus L of I is nothing but L of 1 minus L of 0. That is nothing but 3 minus 1, 2. So 2 is greater than diff, right? Because diff is initially 0. Okay. So this statement gets executed. A equals true and diff equals current diff. So diff takes the value of current difference, whatever got calculated here. So diff will become 2 now. Okay. Else this gets executed. Okay. Now it goes again. Now I is equal to 1 now. So L of I plus 1 minus L of I is nothing but I of 2, L of 2 by L of minus L of 1. That's nothing but 7 minus 3. Okay. Now that is my current difference. Now is 7 greater than diff? What is my current value of diff? It's 2, right? Yeah. So 7 is greater than 2. So I again do A equals 2 and diff becomes current diff. So I keep doing this. Okay. And I'm doing the absolute value. So when I do this, so 13729, 13729. Okay. So what will the answer be? So at the end, I'm returning only what the value of A is. A becomes false when this condition does not hold, when the current difference is not strictly greater than diff. Okay. Otherwise, A becomes false and then I return my value of A. So for this given input, what will my output be? It will be true, no? Because the differences are increasing. 2, 4, minus 5, the absolute value is minus 5 is 5. 2, 4, 5, and here it's 7. Okay. What if my, instead of this, it's just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. What will the answer of this be?
True, ma'am.
Huh?
False.
False. Because all the differences are just 1, no? My differences are not increasing. My differences are staying constant. Yeah? Did you understand this? Let's do another thing. 1, 2, 4, 2, 5. Okay. Will this give me true or false? So what are the differences? Tell me. Absolute differences. Absolute differences.
1,
Plus 1,
2,
plus 2.
2,
1, 2,
and 3.
1, 2, 2, and 3. Okay. So it will be 1, 2, 2, and 3. Do you think this should give me true or false? Is it strictly increasing? No, right? Because 2 is followed by another 2.
No,
It's
ma'am.
equal. So this thing is strictly increasing. I just put greater than. Okay. So that's why this will also give me a false value. Okay. The false is coming because my value of A is changing from true to false. Okay. So that is that program. Then you had another program given a list of numbers. Okay. List of anything, any number. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Whatever. So given this list. Okay. You had to print the sums of squares of just odd numbers and even numbers, okay, separately. Okay. So for example, here if I have these numbers, what are the sums of squares of odd numbers? 1 plus 1 square plus 3 square plus 5 square, no? Yeah.
37.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what it is, no? 1 square plus 3 square plus 5 square, and even numbers are 2 square plus 6 square. That's 40. Okay.
Okay.
So I've just written a code for that. So I initially have odd equals to 0 and even equal to 0. L is my input. Then for I in L, look how I've written it differently. I've brought it in range. I've directly gone to all the elements in the list. I'm iterating over the elements. For I in L, if I itself, so I represents the element in the list. If I percentage 2 is equal to 1, that means it's odd, no? Then odd is equal to odd plus this thing, I into 2. Okay?
Yes.
Else even is equal to even plus I into 2. So this is I square or I. This can be written in a shorter way. How? I can just write this. This is a simpler way of writing this.
And plus equal.
Yeah. It will give me the same thing. Let's run this entire thing. Oh, int object is not callable. What happened? Hey, something happened. Even is, yeah, this should not be here. Okay. Okay. Let's run this. So given this thing, these are my answer. 1 square plus 3 square plus 5 square is 35. Okay. 2 square plus 4 square is 20. I can have anything here. Okay. 11 or whatever. It will print the respective. Yeah.
The odd conditions also mistaken.
Sorry. Someone speaking. If you wish to speak,
The
please speak
odd
to me.
conditions,
How to? Can you be a little louder?
the odd condition, something is mistaken. No?
Huh? Sorry. I cannot hear.
On line number 72, you made plus after the equal
Yeah,
sign,
sorry,
right?
sorry. This is not correct. Okay, now it's correct.
That is the mistake.
This
Yeah.
writing plus equal
Yeah.
to is equivalent to writing this plus and removing this. So these are equivalent. Okay. I
Yeah.
can just put that and remove this odd. It just saves me some writing thing. That's all. Okay.
Yeah.
So
But
that's,
how it gives a correct answer, man? Man,
yeah,
excuse me.
that's, yeah. That's because here it's just treating this as an integer. What is plus 1? If I write plus 1 is 1 only, no? Here, plus 1 is 1. If I write minus 1, it's minus 1. We're just treating this as an integer. Okay? I can write 1 as plus 1, no? That's nothing but what is happening here, plus. It won't give me an error, but it's just not good way to write because we know it's already positive. Yeah? Is this correct? So this is where we'll stop today. Any doubts regarding today's class? I'll upload the scripts and the video by tonight, hopefully. Yeah? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. If not, we'll close for the session. I'll upload everything and I'll do this list comprehension next class. Okay. Where like that specific doubt that you had, no, if else we'll do more problems on that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. You are a great class and please practice all of
Sir,
these programs. Yeah. I saw your assignment. You have to do something. You have to detect where there are duplicates in a list. We have done that in the last class. It's part of a bigger program where we have identified duplicates. Go through the last week's tutorials. You'll find it. Okay. Yeah. You were saying someone was saying something.
every live session is to clarify doubts of the recorded classes, sir.
Sorry.
Every live session is to clarify doubts of recorded classes. Is that right?
No, you can have. You can clarify doubts of the lectures also. Yeah. You can have doubts regarding whatever was covered until week 3 and regarding the assignment of week 2 or before that. Okay. So next week it will be like week 4 up till what you have done week 4 in the classes as well as whatever I have taught. What I basically help you to understand what is being done in the class and your assignments. Okay. So if you understand these programming things, you will understand what is being done in the class also. I don't repeat what is done in the class because it's done in a very nice manner. But if you have doubts regarding that, you can ask me. Okay. Otherwise, it will just keep like people will not have clarity on what is happening in the class. I try and solve more simpler doubts which will help you understand the class itself. Like how recursive, what is a
Ma'am, this
recursive function and things like that. Yeah. Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, this recorded session will be added into weekly 3 sort only, right?
Week 3, yeah. Week 3.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, you will get the recorded session soon on the link. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, good evening, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Tell me.
Hello,
Yes, tell
good
me.
evening, ma'am.
I am sir actually. Tell me. Tell me, sir.
Sir, I didn't submitted assignment 3, so I want to submit 4 and 5. Is I am eligible for
tomorrow, no, for assignment 3. What is the
ma'am?
deadline for assignment week 3
Yes,
assignment?
tomorrow, ma'am. It's
Tomorrow. So you have time.
15, ma'am.
It's due on 17th of no, this is last week.
Hello, sir. Hello.
It's tomorrow, so you can submit. Week 3 you can still submit.
Sir, up to now, I did not submit assignments, previous one.
Yeah.
If I submit the coming assignments, am I eligible to write the exam?
I don't know this. Please check the things. I don't know this. Okay, you can. I'm not in charge of the exam point of view. I just help you with the classes.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
You
sir.
have to write to someone else, the course coordinator or something like that.
I already checked the terms and conditions, sir. In that, only 10 marks is eligibility for the coming exam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think so you'll be weighted. So you might just lose marks on assignment. You will not get graded on those things.
Yes, sir. Now coming assignments, only 2 quiz and 1 assignment is left.
Yes. Yes.
if I write that,
Yeah. And then,
will I get 10 marks or not?
after there is week 6, 7, 8 also. So then there will be more assignment, there will be more quiz. So you can write the
Okay.
exam, I think.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank
When
you.
will you
Close for
have
the
the
day.
next
Yeah.
interaction?
Okay.
When will you have the next interaction?
Next week, Tuesday evening. Please be on time, yeah? 6 p.m. Okay. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.